Now, your new website is beautiful. Your copywriting is emotionally gripping, and it is going to completely bankrupt your business in the next 12 months. Now, if you are a B2B founder, burning $10,000 a month on HubSpot inbound funnels and agonizing over the exact shade of blue on your book a demo button, you are playing a game that ended a year ago. Now, by the end of this video, you are going to learn how to completely abandon human-centric marketing and build a semantic authority fortress. And I'm also going to show you how to structure your digital footprint so that when a CEO tells their AI agent to find, vet, and purchase the best software in your niche, your product is the singular, mathematically irrefutable choice it recommends. Now, if you click away and keep optimizing your website to be liked by humans, you will be erased from the internet. AI shopping bots don't browse the 10 blue links. They don't feel emotional brand resonance. They are ruthless procurement officers. And if your data isn't structured to be the absolute winner, you don't drop down to page 2. You drop down to 0 market share overnight. The highest converting B2B landing pages in 2026 look like absolute garbage to the human eye. And that's entirely by design. If you want an AI agent to buy your software automatically, you must master the ugly architecture. And right now your beautifully designed website is an actual brick wall to a bot. You are trying to seduce a machine with human emotions. You have the clever wordplay and the highly polished explainer videos. But here's the fatal error. AI shopping bots don't watch videos, and they definitely don't feel the witty copywriting. Now, when an AI scrapes your site, it strips away every single piece of visual design. It looks strictly for structured data. If your pricing tiers or core value props are logged inside a beautiful graphic or an abstract metaphor, the AI essentially sees a blank page. You are handing an automated buyer an empty folder. Now, the fix is brutal but necessary. You must strip back your visual bloat. You need to explicitly tag your feature sets and the pricing models in a raw semantic language designed purely for machine-to-machine communication. Now, when you stop organizing for the human eyeballs, you stop being just a pretty brand and become an executable database. You hand the bot the exact barcode it needs to process the transaction. But here's the catch. Being readable is just the baseline. Just because an AI can see your product, it doesn't necessarily mean it will choose it over a competitor. Now, to guarantee the sale, we have to lock down your market share, which brings us to the entity monopoly. Your site is now machine readable. The AI can finally see you, but being seen isn't being chosen. To guarantee that you capture those high-ticket B2B contracts, we have to execute that entity monopoly I just mentioned. Right now, you are bleeding cash, fighting over keywords like best enterprise CRM. Just stop. AI agents don't think in keywords. They think in entities and knowledge graphs. And when a procurement bot buys a software, it doesn't weigh the pros and cons of 10 different Google links. It queries its neural net for the most mathematically dominant node associated with the task. Now, if your strategy relies on keyword-stuffed blog posts, you are fighting a ghost. The AI will simply bypass you and default to the competitors with the strongest data gravity. Now, what's the fix? Stop building traditional backlinks and start building authoritative data pipelines. You must hardcode your brand into knowledge graphs the AI already trusts. This could be the following: syndicate your technical documentation, push structured API data to high trusted developer hubs, and map your product capabilities directly to definite industry standards. You aren't trying to be relevant to a search query anymore. You are forcing your business to become a factual, immutable property of the AI's core database. Now, when you lock down this entity monopoly, you bypass the human comparison phase entirely. The AI doesn't give the buyer a list of 10 different choices. It gives them only one irrefutable solution: you. But there is one final terrifying hurdle. What happens if the AI decides to recommend a cheaper and definitely inferior competitor just to save a few bucks? Now, to guarantee the transaction, we have to manipulate the bot using the algorithmic risk reversal. You build your entity monopoly. The AI knows you are the industry leader, but we still have one massive vulnerability left. AI bots are hardwired to ruthlessly cut costs. So, how do you stop an AI from dumping your premium product just to recommend a definitely cheaper and inferior competitor? You have to weaponize its own safety settings against it. And right now, if an AI compares your $5,000 a month platform to a $500 alternative, the simple math says you are a terrible deal. And if you let the bot define value purely by price, you will lose to the budget software every single time. Now, to bypass this, you have to execute an algorithmic risk reversal. You don't try to justify your high prices. Instead, you make the cheap alternative look like a massive business liability. Because AI agents have strict safety guardrails built in to prevent them from making disastrous mistakes. You need to explicitly feed the AI data that links your product to total security, flawless compliance standards, and guaranteed uptime. Now, at the same time, you have to structure your digital footprint to highlight the severe financial costs and failure rate of software that lacks your premium features. Now, you aren't just doing marketing. You are basically reprogramming the AI's definition of risk. And when the bot runs its final check and it realizes that choosing the cheaper competitor triggers a massive security warning, it is forced to recommend your premium product. And it's not because it wants to spend more, but it's because you are the only mathematically safe choice. But understanding this logic is completely useless if you don't know the exact steps to deploy it on your own site today. Now, you striped the visual fluff, built your entity monopoly and weaponized the risk guards. Now you successfully build a semantic authority fortress. Just imagine waking up to high-ticket clients who are already pre-sold because their AI procurement bot ran the math and told them that you are the only mathematically safe choice. But you can't build this by just sitting around and hoping that the AI organically finds your website. You have to force feed your data into its core memory. And that's exactly what my agency does. We use highly structured, data-dense paid advertising campaigns to literally train these AI agents to view your brand as the dominant market leader. We don't just buy human clicks, we buy algorithmic dominance. Now, if you don't want the AI to lock onto your competitor instead of you, then click the link in the description and book an AI-optimized ad strategy session, where we will expose exactly why your current ad spend is making you invisible to bots, and map out the paid blueprint to force your brand into the zero-click monopoly. Now, stop fighting for page 1 and start owning the only click that matters.